my latest project. It's a, I don't know what year, because the tag got switched off, but it's a Kawasaki Mule 550. And I bought it as a project. It was already repowered by a 420cc Predator motor. The stock motor is over there. Well, most of it. I got most of it. And what have we done? I bought a factory head pipe. Took a little bit of modifications to hook that up. I took off the factory air filter assembly. Have just a little kind of makeshift factory air filter box and part on there. That thing stuck up clear way back up here and hit you right in the back when you're sitting in the seat, so that had to go and move that somewhere else. And luckily those carburetors are, well, there's no adjustments on them other than the idle. So I have to get something different there. I did, for now, hook up the factory wiring for the starter and the charging coils and kill the ignition coil with the factory key. Because the previous owner had the Predator ignition on there, and that key switch is about the cheapest you can get. I just have a makeshift gas tank up here. Something I watched a few videos on the interwebs, and there's a few out there on these 550s. And for some reason, them silly foreigners decided to run the factory engine backwards from everything built here in the States, or that's sold here in the States anyway. So I've had to educate myself on these, I don't know why they call them clutches. They're, well, that one's a clutch, but that's more like a pulley, variable diameter pulleys, and they are directional. They are directional. Let's see. I find the factory spring and a flashlight. If you put everything down in there, oh yeah, that's nice, and oh, that's going to show up just grand. Oh, I tell you what, the camera's great, the lighting's about perfect. There are, the best I can tell, this is a Comet secondary, and the factory one, well, that thing up now. This spring is counterclockwise to tension it. Well, with that repowered motor, this secondary clutch won't work. The primary clutch don't matter, because the faster it spins, the better it drives in, this clutch anyway. But the secondary is backwards. I seen one fella, he just turned it around. Well, then you can't put the side cover back on, because the dang thing comes out here and rubs the shock. So I did a bunch of looking, and found out that a Comet 40 series secondary clutch spring that's already in there. It's the red one, if the light will show up. Oh yeah, there we go. That red spring in there. There, get the camera right, dummy. Is a clockwise tension spring, and the factory one is counterclockwise. So you have to put the those, there you can almost see, there's like a set of pyramids on either one, and for the factory one runs on one side, you just have to put it on the other side and tension everything right. Take off this nut, and this outer shell is also threaded on there, and let's see if you can see, you have to beat the bejesus out of that thing to get it loose. I don't know why it was so tight, but because there is a lock nut on there too. Have to get that lock nut off, and then this outer pulley half, clutch half, whatever, will thread right off of that shaft, and then all the giblets will come off of it. Replace the spring, put it back together in a backwards portion, and yeah, I had it out and test drove it because I was trying to tension this factory spring, and no matter how much tension I put on it, it was still always slipping because it was the wrong direction for what it's spinning. Now the gear shifter is still backwards, so the transmission, the one feller claimed, I can't find anything else about it, I haven't split it apart or anything, but it goes a little slower in reverse than it does in forward, so now it's spinning the wrong way, and reverse is forward, forward is reverse. So it's going a little bit slower. I'm not looking for top speed, I'm just looking to carry myself and some tools or parts or whatever, get it from A to B. The factory exhaust is nice. I must be getting old because I like it to be quiet now. And the carburetor is tuned for an exhaust, and I gotta do something different there yet. And mount a gas tank. But yeah, if I didn't have enough going on, I thought I'd buy another Progect, and here it is. It's not in bad shape. The bed's right here. It's, I don't know, a little rusty, or I didn't figure the price was too bad considering the motor. Quite a few folks have commented, well, it's only two-wheel drive. Oh geez. Well, yeah, it is only two-wheel drive. It does have the differential lock, that little lever right there, and that does work, and yeah, that's okay with me. And these first ones that were built, I think, I don't know, these started somewhere in the 80s or something. They are light enough. If you do get stuck, which I'm not looking to get it stuck, but you can push it or possibly move it out of the mud hole yourself. You don't need a winch or a farm tractor to get it moving. So, oh, I rebuilt the, there's another thing. I rebuilt the, where the heck's my light? On these steering selectors, I guess it's fairly popular. Down. Oh no. That's too bright. Damn it. Let me get this light again. Okay. There we can see a little bit better. This steering gear is nothing but like a worm gear assembly. The shaft coming down in, you just unbolt that off of there, and there is a bearing. You see my finger? Not really, the light sucks, but there's a bearing on the top side of that input shaft that goes out of them. And the NAPA part number, the camera ain't going to show up either, P620, well, it's a 2022, but this is Napa's number, and a $6 bearing. Tear everything apart, clean everything up, put it all back together. We'll get that steering rack all fixed on that. But yeah, it's coming along. Still a whole pile of miscellaneous parts and pieces, and I'm going to do a little something different about charging coils. It only puts out like 2 amps, and that's not really enough, I don't think. So do a little something different there. Yeah, that's coming along.